So one of the problems that we think a lot about these days is polarization on social media, in particular when we have Democrats and Republicans interact with each other over really contentious political topics like, for example, climate change. What we wanted to do is we wanted to study this process and figure out really what causes what. Is it the case that people not interacting with each other causes further polarization? Or is it the case that polarization is caused by putting people together? So we built an experiment and we got together 2,400 Republicans and Democrats and studied several different conditions. We showed the same graph to Republicans and Democrats, and we found tremendous polarization. Nearly half of the Republicans expected that Arctic sea ice would rebound back to normal levels from the 1950s, whereas the majority of Democrats saw that Arctic sea ice was going to keep decreasing. So our question was, could we somehow generate social media networks that would allow Democrats and Republicans to talk to each other? When we allowed Democrats to only interact with Democrats, Republicans to only interact with Republicans, not much changed. People stayed entrenched in their political positions. There was strong partisan bias. Then what we did is we allowed Democrats and Republicans to interact with each other in social media networks where they could sort of share their opinion with one another. And we saw a tremendous amount, an almost unprecedented amount of social learning. So both the Democrats and the Republicans were more accurate in their understanding of climate change after interacting with each other, which is exactly what we would hope. We ran a final version of the experiment where we introduced a political label to the Democratic logo and the Republican logo, free floating on the screen, not associated with any person. And what we saw was that it completely undermined the social learning process, that in fact there was complete acrimony between the groups and polarization was maintained. And what this does is provide some really useful scientific insight into, first of all, how to mitigate polarization and improve social understanding and cross-party understanding on contentious political issues, which is to say, if you allow people to interact in the right kinds of social network structures in depoliticized context, they actually will learn from each other and there'll be really much better understanding of the problem. But as soon as you put political logos into the environment, and think now about CNN or Facebook or Twitter, any of these environments that put political imagery into the space undermine the process of social learning and completely exacerbate the problem of polarization, which is what we're seeing on social media.